Vapors, drowners, and wet feet. That's all I'll find here.
Who are you?
A witcher.
Well, well. I thought Leo Bonhart had disposed of your kind.
Never heard of him.
Nor will you again. We all, in this profession, eventually meet someone better than us.
What profession is that?
Bounty hunter. What brings you here?
I'm here about the notice.
Finally. Got the hides?
I'll return when I have the pelts.
I'll be here.
Who was Bonhart?
Old Leo was a legend. In some ways, he was like you. He killed without emotion. Just like you would kill a lame drowner. He was the best. Tall, slim, and one gaze from those empty eyes could break a man.
Was he a mage?
No. He slew some witchers. Those who riled the peasants. Magic tricks and witchers' reflexes proved useless against him.
But he's dead. As they say, he hit a harder rock than he was himself.
Yes. Take care, Witcher.
Farewell.
Good sir. Do you need a boat?
Oh, nothing beats meat. Hello, son.
I'm not your son, Gramps.
You guessed my name. They call me Gramps around here.
They call me all kinds of things. Mostly Geralt, or Scabbed Freak.
Well, people exaggerate. I don't see many scabs. No offense.
None taken. But I'm likely to earn some trekking through this swamp.
Yes?
I'm looking for work.
Ah, swords. I suspect I know the type of work you seek. Perhaps you could escort me to the chapel for my prayers. I'm old and no longer good at driving monsters off with my staff.
I was thinking about paying work, but all right, I'll take you there. These boggy holes must be clay pits.
Clay pits. This is where those lunatics work.
Huh. They look normal to me.
Brickmakers pretend to be normal to strangers, yet they conceal their faith. Do you know those dimwits worship fish people?
People believe in the strangest things.
Yeah, but to worship slime-covered reptiles with bulging eyes. Those Vodianoi can't even talk. You must communicate with them using objects.
Care to elaborate?
Humans communicate with fishoids by leaving objects on special altars. Each item has specific symbolic meaning and is read as an intention. The Vodianoi answer in the same manner.
What kind of objects?
Dunno, and I don't care. You need to speak with one of the worshippers. But brickmakers don't divulge their knowledge to potential blasphemers. Here we are. Thank you, son.
I'm not your son.
I like you. Visit me sometime. I'll show you my books, serve you some tea, and goulash. You're a witcher, yes? I met another of your kind recently, but he lacked courtesy. He demanded to know about the Circle of Elements.
Another witcher? What can you tell me about him?
Well, not much, son. He wanted about asking questions, and looking like one with a sour stomach.
I'm not so interested in that.
Yeah, I know. He feared something or someone. Spent most of his time near the pits where those village idiots burrow in clay.
Thanks, Gramps. That helps. Three women. This reminds me of something. Looks like a brickmaker's village.
What's that?
traveller from distant lands. He has lost something he now seeks.
What shall I call you?
Vaska, the village eldress.
Geralt. Witcher. What do the villagers do?
We mine clay and produce bricks.
I see none working.
Hard times. Speak. What do witchers do?
We solve problems.
Want to ask something?
Has another Witcher been here? Berengar?
He has, asking different questions about those alchemies. The alchemist Cultist must have sent him. Then we happened upon his gear in a clay pit, covered in blood.
Thanks, Vaska.
White-haired one. There were signs of fighting there, and not with monsters. He was attacked by men. Beware of flaming lizards and dry ones. I need you alive.
Do you have monster problems?
Indeed. Creatures have made nests in the clay pits.
What are they like?
As if drowned, then resurrected.
Drowners. I can finish them.
We're poor folks. I can pay no more than 50 orens.
That's enough. Where are they?
Towards the landing, but take the other road at the fork. At its end you'll spot our tormentors.
Kalkstein, an alchemist, claims you know about the mage from the tower and the guard.
A powerful sorcerer once lived in the swamp, an apprentice his only companion. All changed when a woman entered his life.
A fairy tale beginning.
But the end differs, for a wicked woman she was. He fulfilled all her wishes and she took advantage of his might.
Who was she?
Unimportant.
I'm listening.
Blind love spelled the mage's demise. He called upon forces he could not control and died.
What about the guard?
The mage's lover could tell fortunes, and the mage created a deck of extraordinary tarot cards. He illustrated a future event on each card.
And?
Golems guarded the mage's dwelling. Those spared the ravages of time survive at the cemetery, where they remain motionless.
One of them is the guard?
Yes, the most powerful golem acted as sentry. The tower card depicts how the golem can be revived. In turn, this will open the tower anew. Take this card. I no longer need it.
Gnawed human bones? Brains? I'm gonna puke.
This would be my home.
Is that skull and brain human?
Yes.
And the meat?
That too.
Plates. A mug.
Now, don't get agitated. Listen to my reasons.
What reasons might a cannibal have?
You look pale. Care to eat something?
Why do you eat human flesh?
Well, I enjoy it. It has health-giving qualities, and it tastes like chicken. A pound of human flesh provides the equivalent of...
Spare me.
Well, you asked. I do follow certain rules. For instance, I never consume children.
Truly praiseworthy.
Well, no need for sarcasm. Well, occasionally I polish up a druid or a brickmaker, but I especially savour elf meat. It's aromatic, naturally infused with scents of roots and spices.
What about dwarf meat?
Well, veiny and stringy. I believed I tasted it once, but in truth I'm unsure it was dwarf meat. To my embarrassment, I was forced to fight a drowner for it. The bloody scrap that was my share had little to identify it.
Enough.
As you wish, I'll say no more.
You don't deserve to live.
Well, you can always kill me, but I'm of greater use alive. I've vast knowledge and I know this swamp well. I could be of assistance to you.
Die, monster. place. Looks like these giants froze mid-motion. Must have been some time ago. Huge trees, strange symbols, tamed beasts, even a dryad. This must be the druids' grove.
Windblade. Windblade.
Gwynblade. What's that mean?
White Wolf.
You know me?
Your name precedes you.
You may know more than me. I remember nothing of my past.
Some things are better forgotten. Nevertheless, I do feel sorry for you.
Can you help?
Sadly, no. Perhaps my sisters from Brokilon could help, but they are far away.
Tell me about Brokilon.
Brokilon is the Dryad homeland, a wilderness untouched by humans. Those surrounding Brokilon wish to claim our forests, and thus humans and Dryads fight continuously along the borders.
Who is winning?
Our archers are matchless, but how long can we resist the brute force that rendered humans the world's rulers?
So you agree with the elves and dwarves fighting for independence?
Those children? They have long forgotten the struggle's meaning, craving blood and revenge, having only contempt for humans. They fail to see they begin to resemble the humans themselves. We merely defend our home, Gwynblade, and have no ambition of driving humans into the sea.
Tell me about your lives.
Brokilon is our home, Ithlin our lady. We live in harmony with the forest, flowing through the thickets and knowing the forest's secrets.
Are you happy?
Like humans, we have joys and sorrows, though our end is near. The war with the humans continues, and our numbers diminish.
That's sad.
Welcome to the Druid's Grove, traveler.
Greetings.
Marvelous place. I come here when I need to think, and the peacefulness helps clear my mind. Even a witcher is welcome here.
One more word about my accepting my otherness and finding the home I never had, and I'll cry like a baby.
Sarcasm only serves to expose your inhibitions.
Ooh, an elven psychoanalyst.
I spent decades among humans. I find your kind as complicated as the schematics of a flail.
Decades? Live that long among humans, you're bound to become more like them than you ever wanted to be.
Are you speaking from experience, Monster Slayer?
A sharp wit. I'm Geralt.
My name's Yavin.
Let's talk.
Yes.
What can you tell me about your kind? What makes you elves tick?
Let us pray beneath the trees, for the trampled heather, for blood that has been shed, for fate that has been destroyed,
I'm not sure I'm understanding this.
for death inflicted by sword, for the pain of others and our own.
I'm looking for Witcher's work.
Then I'll ask you a favor. I need a letter delivered to Vizima, where I'm not welcome. As a Witcher, you should find little difficulty tending to monsters on the way and avoiding trouble with the guards at the city gates.
Who's the letter to?
I'd be obliged if you could deliver it to Vivaldi, a dwarf living in town, and then return his reply to me.
I'll do it. I'm going to Vizima anyway.
Thank you.
Vampires and fledders fear garlic.
A cave entrance.
What was that? What was that?
I will fall on my face into dust. The lords approach like rising waters.
Hey,
They ascend like kings to the throne.
you want a thrashing?
I call thee from the depths. Come,
What the hell?
for I tell thee who is above the lords. Want to ask something?
I've killed the drowners.
You showed us mercy, yet I deceived you. I can offer no money, but you cannot leave unrewarded. Take this amulet. It's Kezath, the symbol of mercy.
Will do.
Wonderful. Now we prepare for the coming of the lords.
Who are these lords?
We worship them and receive the grace of those from the eternal deep.
I keep thinking of the fish people. Vodunoi.
How dare you? Those names offend the lords.
What do you want?
Take me to the other side.
Time is money. Made up your mind?
I wouldn't have paid you otherwise. Take me to town.
Yes?
I have 500 orens, though it's quite a price to pay for a stone.
I sadly relinquish it, but my reputation would suffer, as would my business, if I did not deal. The Sephira is yours.
Damn it. The neighbor's laundry is getting wet.
What brings you here?
I've figured out Azar Javed's contacts.
Interesting.
Sorry I suspected you. I know you've lost control of your bank.
Kind to be so frank with a dwarf.
Anytime.
I have information about Javed that might be useful.
Even the smallest details sometimes are.
I saw his name in old files. He paid tuition at the sorcerer school in Barnard. He was expelled after taking an interest in dark magic. He stopped paying tuition and that was the last trace of him in our system. You're dealing with a renegade, and a dangerous one at that. What brings you here?
I have a message for you from Yevon.
Yevon? I don't need to read it. I know what he wants. Witcher know that whether elf, human or dwarf, they all want the same thing.
Gold?
Gold indeed. If you care to drop by later, you can collect my answer to Yevon.
Agreed.
But don't count on getting any gold from me. Yevon has doubtless promised you some already.
Sorry, I got lost in thought.
About the tower.
Yes?
Vaska helped me locate the tower tarot card. It describes how to wake the sentry.
Let's see this card. Interesting. Much depends on interpretation, but I think I understand. Alchemists find it easier to understand other alchemists.
Enlighten me.
The sentry can only be woken if it's near the tower, which it is, and by using a lightning rod.
A lightning rod?
The drawing depicts a man in a crown, a reference to King Herman the Mad.
Who's Herman the Mad?
Herman used to ascend a tower during storms and insult the gods. A hostile faction carried out a coup by removing the lightning rod from the tower.
An interesting story.
You'll need a device that attracts and conducts lightning. Put plainly, a solid metal rod. A good smith should be able to forge one for a decent price.
What next?
Yes, we'll need a thunderstorm, but I have no idea how to make Mother Nature cooperate.
I'll think of something.
When you have everything, attach the lightning rod to the sentry. Energy from the lightning bolt will revive the golem.
What next?
No idea, but you'll manage. If you kill the golem, you'll be able to make a rare potion requiring his heart. Here's the formula.
We'll see.
Oh, when will this rain stop?
Need something?
Will you sell me your wares?
Zoltan praised you, so we can trade. If you care to buy something, see my apprentice. I do the forging and handle special orders.
Would you make me a lightning rod? A long metal?
I know what one is. We used them in Mahakam when humans still prayed to storms. You haven't learnt much about lightning rods since.
Can you make a lightning rod?
Are you trying to offend me, or can't you control what you say? I can, for 50 orens.
Deal.
Shit in my boots.
Hasn't rained hard in a while. You'll be fine. I promise.
Have you come to pray to the Great Mother?
I'm not very religious.
Melitele loves even those who go astray.
That's kind of her.
How can I help?
Tell me more about your goddess.
Melitele is mother of all living things, the goddess of love, fertility, and healing.
Why does the statue represent 3 figures?
The goddess has 3 faces, symbolizing her different aspects.
What are those?
A young, carefree girl, a mature, pregnant woman, and a hunched old woman.
I see.
How can I help?
I seek something and found a clue I can't understand.
It is well you came. The goddess is infinitely wise.
The clue says... Well, read it yourself.
3 faces. That's Melitele. Behold the statue with the goddess's 3 faces.
And the sacrifice?
Only nature's harvest. Fruit, plants, flowers. Melitele dislikes killing done in her name.
Someone.
Care to relax a little, handsome?
Only a little.
Depends. I'm open to suggestions.
Let's talk.
All right, we'll chat. But I'm counting on more.
Surprise me.
We know so little about love. It's like a pear, sweet and shapely. But try describing that shape without saying pear.
Try showing me.
Not so fast. We just met.
Many girls like you working in Vizima?
Plenty, but I'm the prettiest.
No doubt.
Nice to see you.
Any unusual entertainment on offer?
Some clients like to play dice at the same time. Interested?
Maybe someday.
I'll wager your luck excels at dice.
I have my ups and downs.
I propose an honest game.
I might just take you up on that.
I can tell you're well-travelled. It's a true honor to play a man like you.
I'm a witcher. Aren't you afraid I'll jinx the dice?
I'd rather lose to someone worldly than beat an ordinary sort. These farmers only wager cabbages. A hunter once frequented this establishment, but I haven't seen him in ages.
I think you've seen the last of him.
He enjoyed high stakes, but was unlucky at dice.
He was unlucky in love, too.
If you say so.
Silver sword mean anything to you?
Why do you ask?
I don't have time for chit-chat.
Take no offense.
Where did you get the sword?
I won it from a gardener.
Where can I find him?
The garden at St. Lebioda's Hospital.
Look lively. Look how they grow.
I'm more interested in silver swords.
I knew one of you would come by eventually.
You lost it playing dice?
I was sure I'd win. Beware the sharp one plays well.
Where did you get this sword?
5 years ago there was a battle near Brenner. When the dust had settled, our men had beaten the Nilfgaardians. We ceased to call ourselves an imperial province that day.
You captured the sword during the battle?
Yes, it was Witcher Cohen's. A strapping fellow and a rare breed. Not very talkative, mind you.
Like most of us.
I gave my word the sword would find another Witcher. As he lay dying, he mumbled about teeth and destiny. Then he laughed at his own death.
Yet you lost it gambling?
I kept it hidden for 5 years. I lost hope I'd ever run into another Witcher. Miss Shani knew Cohen. She works at the hospital.
Thanks.
Good luck on the path.
I never turn down good phys tech.
Tell me about that Salamandra prisoner.
But... I hardly know anything.
Where is he?
They took him to Lebiota Hospital.
Thanks. You should drop that habit.
Maybe, but not today.
See ya.
You'll be fine.
Stay away from the prisoner.
I want to ask some questions. Shh, he's talking.
Kalkstein. He's passed out. Shove off.
There's a commotion in the corridor.
Bloody thugs. Ram's meat sent them. Bloody thugs. Ram's meat sent them.
Old, grey, and still chasing skirts. You should be ashamed.
Old, grey, and a pain in the ass. You should be ashamed.
Go! Just don't be surprised if she stabs you.
Finally, you found me.
Looks like it.
How'd you get past the old hag?
That nice lady downstairs?
She's made my life hell.
Old hag. Should have died years ago.
It's not her fault how she was raised.
But...
You should have respect for tradition.
Shani,
I don't want to talk about it.
Old people are like that.
At least my rent is low. Doctors earn little in Temeria. Many leave.
You stayed.
Someone had to.
Anyway.
Geralt, we need to talk.
What is it?
Some people died in a fight at the hospital. Were you involved? Explain yourself.
I wanted to question a prisoner, one of your patients, but thugs interrupted us. It was their bodies the guard discovered later.
Anyway, the prisoner is being transported to a safe location.
Thanks, Shani.
Just watching out for you.
Shani, I wanted to ask you something.
Mm-hmm.
I heard you saw Cohen shortly before he died.
That's right. How did you know?
I found his sword.
He died during the battle at Brenna, on my operating table.
You were a medic at Brenna?
I worked alongside a surgeon named Rusty, best doctor I ever knew.
Knew?
He died when the Catriona plague erupted, in Maribor. Though a halfling, he could operate like no one else. He made everything seem simple. Stitch red to red, yellow to yellow, white to white, and everything will be all right. You wouldn't understand.
Sorry, Shani, I didn't know him. Do you know anything about this sword?
No, but you should ask the dwarf, Sultan Chive. His knowledge of weapons is unmatched. Sometimes I dream about the Battle of Brenna, the massacre.
I'm sorry.
But that's it. I'm not sorry. I wake up refreshed and it's like I'm used to suffering. Does that make sense?
It does.
Thanks. Sometimes it's good to share.
Don't mention it.
I'm all ears, White Wolf.
So, I got to the prisoner.
He spill anything?
Didn't have time. Ramsmeat's men attacked.
You sure? Strange. Ramsmeat wants Salamandra gone. unless something I don't know about has occurred.
Javed might have scared him, or paid him off.
Something to check. Did you get anything out of the prisoner?
One word. Cultist.
Makes sense. Cultist's known to be a talented alchemist. He could be helping Javed with his experiments.
I've met Cultist. He didn't look the criminal.
That might be true, but we need to check all our leads. Let's get to work. I'll ask around town, talk to my contacts. You keep an eye on Cultist. Gain his trust. Get to know his plans and secrets.
How do you want to proceed?
Patience. This is just like fishing.
I prefer hunting.
Then gain Cultist's trust. Do him a favor. Learn something that interests him. You could get him to hire you. And talk to Ram's meat, but don't overdo it. There's one with a short temper. It's elementary.
What brings you here?
Have you finished your answer to Yevon?
Yes, here it is. The elf will surely reward you.
Let's hope you're right. I hope you recover your assets.
That bank has belonged to my family for ages, and now some human. You call this justice?
Goodbye.
Everyone's gone mad.
Yes?
What do you know about my silver sword?
What, me? A simple dwarf?
Shani insisted your knowledge of weapons is unequaled.
All right. Silver-plated blade, a steel core, suited to a two-handed grip. Decent workmanship, not perfect. I don't know runes for shit.
Thanks.
No problem.
Got a minute?
What's eating you?
I warn you, some philosophy's involved.
The meaning of life, eh?
The evil that Witchers fight stems from chaos, from actions aimed at disturbing order. For where evil spreads, order cannot be established. Instead of the light of wisdom, the glimmer of hope, and the glow of warmth, darkness ensues. And in darkness you find nothing but blood, fangs, and claws. Like in the outskirts.
Nicely put, but as young Cero said to King Verdank on their first date, does it have any practical uses?
The right of Witchers to live and function in this world has fallen out of balance, because the struggle between good and evil now plays out on a different battlefield with different rules. Evil has ceased being chaotic. No longer a blind elemental power, evil follows rules according to the rights it's been granted. It functions in line with treaties.
That's progress. With more of us living longer, we can slaughter one another in the thousands. Progress is like a herd of pigs. The herd brings many benefits, but no one should wonder at all the shit.
Shit or no shit, Witchers exist to slay monsters. How can I when the real monsters hide behind ideals, faith, or the law?
The biggest evil is moral relativity, which kills more than the Catriona plague and dragons combined. Witchers will always be needed, no matter where that pig herd leads us.
I'm not so sure.
Let me tell you something, Witcher. Once we led a group of women and children through a war-torn land. They slowed us down. We had to feed them, protect them, and we had to hide in the woods to pee instead of passing by the road. In short, they were a burden, and ungrateful at that. Know why we helped them? It was the right thing to do.
That means nothing.
Don't make me angry, 'cause I smack hard when I'm riled. It's the good you spoke of. If you want a scholar's word, read Visigotta of Corvo.
Okay, I understand. Thanks. Farewell.
Sorry, I got lost in thought.
Let's talk about Salamandra. I think you're in league with them.
What, me? Why?
That's what I'd like to know.
What is it you're after?
Evidence indicates you're linked to the organization.
What evidence?
The wounded salamander mentioned you.
That's likely, since I hired him.
What for?
To help with my experiments. I had no idea he belonged to a secret organization.
I suppose he distilled the fifth essence and dusted the Philosopher's Stone?
He protected me from Salamandra and did other tasks. He risked his life for me, and your sarcasm will not change that. Get out of my sight, mutant.
I believe you. I don't know enough to decide. Let's drop the subject for now.
Right. We can't waste time. When you find that criminal, I'll gladly help, but now back to work.
Storms come in.
I'll kill you! Have them! Spare no one!
Thanks, Geralt. You saved my life. The bastards snuck in here. Somehow they found out I'm after them.
Who? What happened?
Salamandra. I was a step away from solving the mystery. One small step.
Relax, Raymond. You're safe now.
Not likely. They're following me day and night. I gotta find a way to lose them.
What do we do?
I'll set a false trail. You question the new suspects.
Who?
Here, take these notes. They list all the key leads.
What do you intend to do?
They're on my heels, so I've got to disappear. I'll draw them away while you pursue the investigation. I'll find you, White Wolf.
Somebody was calling you down from one of those dark alleys.
Can't see a thing. It rains.
Your mother sucks dwarf cock.
What do you want, Wolf?
Ever seen the Salamandra sign?
I've seen a lot. Have a problem with that?
Best tell me all you know. The name Azar mean anything?
I have a rule. Before I slit someone's throat, I give them some advice. Never threaten me. Make sure you remember that. I mean, image is everything, right?
I need to talk to you about Salamandra. Why did you contact Witcher Berengar?
What's it to you?
He was my brother.
Take a good look. Do I seem like a whore to you?
Actually,
no one talks to me like that in my house. Get out.
Your people attacked me at the hospital.
You cracked? I sent them there to bring back one of ours.
Why don't I believe you?
I don't give a rat's ass.
In that case, let's call it a misunderstanding. Sorry about your boys.
Pity. Life's a bitch, then you die. Now, if you'll shove off, I got some deals to tend to.
I'm short on proof, so let's say I leave you alone for now.
Thanks a lot. But you'll allow me not to fall at your feet. If you do happen to find Javed, I'll be glad to hear about it. And if you find any of his underlings, I wouldn't mind having a chat with them, too.
I'll buy some tacos. Find customers, grow wealth. Nothing like that. Mugging? Beat him out.
Stand still, smash your face.
No sign of Javed or the Professor. This bunch should cave easily. Let's do this.
Who's this? This wasn't our deal, cop.
Relax. Just a Witcher. Surely you know Witchers are golems. No will of their own, follow orders quick and easy, no complaints. Right, Geralt?
Right.
See? Nothing to be afraid of. You didn't exactly come alone. Now let's deal.
I don't trust him. Heard he was a fucking murderer, cut up over a dozen of our people.
Let's not play who killed who. That's the past. We're interested in the future. Your future. Which will be unpleasant if Javed learns you cheated him. And believe me, he'll learn shortly if you don't start talking.
You're bluffing. You don't scare me.
Enough. Where's Javed? Where are the Witcher's secrets? Spit it out before I feed you to the rats.
Vincent, stop him! I know nothing! I was assistant to Salamandra's accountant. Javed stopped trusting me. I don't know where he is or what he intends.
The Professor?
I don't know. He went off somewhere.
Bullshit. You need encouragement.
You promised me protection in exchange for my testimony. On my mother's grave, I know nothing. Stop him! You're a cop. This is murder. You're gonna stand by and watch?
No, I'm leaving. Besides, I know you had a part in murdering Raymond's family. Witcher, make it quick.
I'll kill you like a dog!
I'm about to kill you, you bastard!
While the plague rages.
I'm dying. I know it.
I'm feeling under the weather.
Wait.
How did things go at the warehouse once I left?
Quickly.
Good. I admit I was hoping for a bit more, but it's always a few bandits less.
That's the last time you use me. I'm not a general avenger.
Had no choice, believe me. It won't happen again. You have my word. I guess you plan to continue the investigation.
Don't have a choice.
I can't help officially, but I'll leave you to it. Anything you learn, I'd be glad to hear.
I wanted to talk to you about Salamandra.
Okay.
Someone informed them about my cockatrice contract.
What are you suggesting?
The Professor, after you released him.
I got no time. End of conversation.
You let the Professor out of prison.
His bail was paid. That's the law.
I get it. Observe the law at all costs. What do you do nights? Meet your boss, Azar Javed?
Nothing unnatural about spending nights in the trade quarter.
Where do you get gold for that?
Don't always need coin to get by.
Wealthy friends? I've got no real proof, so I'll have to wait to decide.
Sounds like your mountain has turned into a molehill. That's what happens when amateurs try their hand at serious work. If you stumble upon any real leads, come by. I'll give you some useful advice.
Attack!
Mr. Marlowe sent me.
What's happening?
Raymond said he has some new information. Come to his house as soon as you can.
Thanks for the message.
Welcome, you won't believe what happened.
Tell me.
Not so fast. Remember, I have expenses.
How much do I owe you?
200 orens.
This investigation is getting expensive.
I'm not the prophet Lebiota. I can't live on roots and berries. Neither can my informers. I guarantee you these are the bare necessities.
All right, 200 orens.
Down to business. They transferred the prisoner after the attack.
Not good.
Especially since we won't get anything else out of him. He died last night.
How did that happen?
Well, he wasn't in great shape, so I guess it's no surprise, but I have a feeling.
Someone helped him along?
Exactly. Shani's a good friend of yours, right? Ask her to do an autopsy. Once we know the cause of death...
Wait a minute. Are you spying on me?
That's my job.
See you later.
It's elementary.
Quickly, I need to get back to work.
I need you to help me with an autopsy.
What? That's illegal.
It's necessary.
Visit me at night. We'll talk.
See ya.
What'll it be? Pine or oak, perhaps? An entire crypt? Let's see, 5 ells wide.
What are you talking about?
Why would you come to a gravedigger? So I ask you, who will you be burying? Fear not, my prices are reasonable.
I'm here for another reason.
You should plan ahead. Very well. What is it you want?
Why is the cemetery shut?
Because the dead refuse to rest in peace. Fear not, they stay in their graves in sunlight. Someone should tend to them, though. Perhaps someone will offer a reward, but for now, no one seems bothered.
Tell me something else.
What do you need?
You seem to know a lot about the deaths in the city. Ever help with investigations?
Sometimes I inform Raymond about the more interesting dead men.
Maybe you can tell me, too.
No, I promise to keep quiet.
I see. A prisoner died recently. Is he in the cemetery already?
Don't know. You can have another body. They all reek the same.
I'm after a specific corpse.
Particular. Come back when you know what you want. Examining remains is an art. Always worthwhile to look deeper. But who does that concern?
Will you let me inside the cemetery?
City authorities prohibited it.
How can I change your mind?
I'd need Captain Mice's permission.
No other way to sway you?
Actually, I've a terrible debt with Toller. Clear those debts, the cemetery key's yours.
Farewell.
So what'll it be? We doing some ploughing business?
Can you get me inside the cemetery?
I can do anything, but I don't feel like it.
How can I convince you?
This damn investigation is getting tiring. Prove me innocent.
I'll find you later.
What is it, Witcher?
Can you get me a pass into the cemetery?
You accuse me, and then you want help?
See it as a way to prove your innocence.
Not a chance in hell. Get lost.
Steady.
I won't help with this vigilante investigation. The results are crap.
See ya.
Yes?
Shani, I wanted to ask you something.
Mm-hmm.
I need your help with an autopsy.
An autopsy? Since when do you deal with stuff like that?
Since I started investigating Salamandra.
Okay, though, I'm no coroner. You'll have to interpret our findings. We'll meet in the evening. Until then, gather as many clues as possible.
I'll sniff around.
Get the body from the gravedigger. We'll meet at the hospital in the evening.
Farewell.
What's this?
Hello, darling. What do you need?
Could you hand over the prisoner's body for an autopsy?
For a bottle of dwarven liquor. Nothing like a good drink.
About the prisoner.
Where you want the body dumped?
At the hospital.
It'll be there by evening.
Farewell.
I'm not playing that.
Like the look of me? I'm so hot. I believe Carmen mentioned you.
Possibly. I did her a favor.
She also said what you'd bring. I know somewhere we won't be interrupted.
Lead the way.
Yes?
We need to talk about your dealings with Salamandra. You paid to have the professor released.
Why would I bother with a criminal?
Why not?
Would I do it so clumsily as to implicate myself?
I suppose not. I don't have any definitive proof, so I'll let it lie, for now.
Wise choice. You should trust your instincts more.
I think you're paying for salamander pins. I'm just not sure why you would do that.
You're mistaken.
Why so defensive? I'm also after Salamandra and can prove it.
If so, bring me 3 pins. Then we'll talk.
I have 3 salamander pins. Will you tell me about your secret society now?
Excellent. I normally pay 20 apiece, but I'll make an exception. I'll give you 10 times that.
Great, but I still want to know why you're paying bounty hunters to track down bandits.
They're not good for business.
Your business?
All businesses. Listen, there are forces beyond your imagination at work here. Be thankful you don't know the world for what it is.
Luvarden, I've heard so many high and mighty speeches that yours doesn't impress me. I don't give a shit about these forces. My only concern is reaching the Salamandra leaders and killing Azar Javed.
That I'd like to see. Should you succeed, find me, and I'll reward you handsomely. And if you destroy Salamandra as a whole, I will repay you for your efforts.
That won't be easy. I may come see you again, and I'll be counting on your assistance.
I'll help if I can.
If you don't work with Salamandra, who are you?
A modest merchant. Allow me to show gratitude with a gift.
Quit bluffing, Declan.
This symbol signifies my secret society. We seek to destroy Salamandra.
Learn anything useful?
The Salamanders have risked much. This is a political matter, let me tell you. Some larger schemes at play in Redania. Few people know this secret. King Cultist, the Lodge of Sorceresses, and I watch the northern border.
How does this relate to Salamandra?
Azar Javed has sent a special force north. My men saw them. He too knows something's brewing and is making preparations.
Connections are everything. If he wants snow from me.
Curses!
Ready for the autopsy?
Let's get started.
We'll all die.
Race, human. Gender, male. Wounds, extensive.
Shani, this isn't a lecture hall.
Whatever you say. He died yesterday, torn to pieces.
Could a human have inflicted these wounds?
Only with a 2-foot jaw.
The bone marrow has been sucked out. Must be scavengers.
Very likely. Plenty around the cemetery.
So, he was torn to pieces after he died. I'm interested in the cause of death.
I also see some stab wounds. A blade 2 fingers wide.
External signs aren't everything. His neck muscles and palms look tense. How do you know when he died?
Normally I base it on muscle stiffness and dehydration, but rigor mortis is persisting for too long.
They say successful autopsies are based on curiosity. Should we look?
Let's check his internal organs. The symptoms are peculiar, and the cause of death, too.
Those wounds are too obvious. I suspect something more. Poison?
If so, a rare sword. Perhaps an alchemist's brew.
Kalkstein?
Ah! Liver's completely cirrhotic. It was obviously a potent poison. This stinks of alchemy.
This is too easy.
Life can be simple sometimes.
Are you certain poison is the only explanation for the unusual rigor mortis?
The most likely cause.
I have a sinking feeling there's more to this.
We can try the coroner's last resort, opening the skull. Opening the skull, always a pleasure. See that in the brain?
Larva of the Zeracanian tsetse fly.
But how did they get in his brain?
It's part of their development cycle. If we were in Zeracania, I'd say a fly crawled up his nose and laid its eggs.
We're in Temeria.
Our climate is too cold and dry for the tsetse fly. Even if someone brought eggs, how would they get up his nose?
What do these eggs look like?
Tiny, white, like flour.
Or Fistek? Geralt, I gave him Fistek before he died. He was suffering terribly, and we had no other anesthetics. I thought it was safe.
Where did you get it?
From your friend, the detective. He told me it was from special stock.
Raymond.
Then we have a problem.
He added eggs to the Fistek, then came here at night to fake the other evidence.
That doesn't sound like Raymond at all.
My medallion vibrates whenever I see him lately. And Zeracania? That's where Azar Javed is from. The real Raymond may no longer be with us.
But I saw him just yesterday.
Azar's using an illusion, trying to manipulate me. Thanks, Shani. I couldn't have figured it out without you.
What will you do now?
I'll talk to Kalkstein first. He should help me prepare.
Sorry, I got lost in thought.
I know Raymond is the Salamandra leader.
Are you sure?
Yes, I have irrefutable evidence. Azar killed Raymond and assumed his identity using an illusion.
The rogue! What do you intend to do about it?
You're better off not knowing.
Be careful. He has great power. You must separate him from its source, the element of fire. Lure him to a place where the magical aura is unstable. It would be best if this place were surrounded by the opposing element, water.
The tower in the swamp.
Ideal. You'd stand a chance there.
See ya.